What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Alright, tonight we're gonna do things a little bit differently. I don't know what's gonna happen with it, if it's gonna be fun or not. But tonight I am going to be chilling. Just chilling with y'all. I've got my mint tea here. It's nice and hot, but not too hot. And yeah, the idea is just to kind of freestyle it, relax a little bit, unwind. You've been tense all day long, doing all kinds of crap. Whole bunch of crap. All different kinds of crap. But all these things we do, they do add up, don't they? They do add up to something, otherwise we wouldn't just keep on doing them. But sometimes it's nice to just kind of let your brain relax for a minute. And not always so easy. Not always so easy. But that's what friends are for. Chatting, having a cup of tea. I have no idea how the sound is going to turn out on this. Got my microphone kind of in the wrong spot here. I should probably hold it up. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that's any better or not. That's alright. I'll keep it on the floor for now. It's probably going to be quite echoey down there. Maybe not. These are rubber floors. They're horse stall mats. When we opened the gym flooring and horse stall mats are essentially the exact same thing. It's a dense, recycled rubber. And yeah, the gym flooring that they sell on a roll is nice because it's on a roll, but it's actually more expensive per foot than getting these sort of pre-sliced horse stall mats. Now these ones that I'm sitting on right now, I painted them because you couldn't actually see my legs against the black mat because I always wear black. So in the workout videos that I do, I painted them green to show up. I do have ambitions of learning how to use green screen someday. I think that would be very cool. Yeah. But yeah, so I painted the mats. It's one of my favorite surfaces, this dense rubber gym flooring. It's nice to walk on barefoot. It's nice to walk on and sit on. I like sitting on the floor. I think furniture has ruined us. We can no longer get down and up off the floor with ease. So many people anyways. Any place with Western furniture. So I try to remember to get down. The pets like it when you get down, you know? My cats like it when I get down on the floor with them. When I teach the workout videos, I notice that a lot of people's pets, especially the dogs, get so excited when their owners get down on the floor. It's so fun. Super fun, happy time. But yeah, shouldn't be that odd of an occurrence, right? Shouldn't be that unusual. It's not unusual to sit down on the floor. It's not unusual to get down anymore. I'm not a singer, guys. You probably figured that out by now. Shocking. Yeah, so I really, I went through a phase of not liking mint tea at all because when I was a kid, my parents would always give me mint tea whenever I had a bellyache. So often that I started associating the mint flavor or the mint scent itself with being nauseous rather than to help the nausea. So yeah, that turned it around for a bit, but I don't know what happened. I don't know why I started liking mint tea again. Just did. Sometimes I'll put sweetener in it. I like it with a little, what's called Splenda, the sucralose. Splenda or sucralose. I know some people can tell the difference between all the different sweeteners. A lot of them taste the same to me, but I don't like stevia. It tastes like licorice, and I'm not into licorice. Yeah. Trying to think of any time that I've actually enjoyed licorice. It's just such a very odd flavor, and I do like many odd flavors. I like valerian root tea. I was trying to think of something similar to licorice. So licorice is like a very earthy root kind of a thing. I like beets. Beets have sort of an earthy root kind of a thing happening. Yeah, I like valerian root tea, which I know objectively smells like dirty socks or something rotten. It's a very pungent smell, but for some reason, I just like it. But yeah, for a while mint tea was giving me grief, and I still don't like licorice on anything. Or in anything. Yeah. There's a kind of stick that I don't know anything about called silverine. Pretty sure it's called silverine. But apparently some cats like it. I've been meaning to order some, but I always get stopped because I'm always taken aback at how expensive an item it is. And I think, well, surely this is something that can be gotten that's not like sold for, you know, cat obsessed people, you know. Yeah, you can find so many things so much cheaper if you just look in different places sometimes. It's one of the reasons why I love the fact that Tucson has so many varieties of grocery stores, and it's one of the reasons I love this city and why I feel bad for people who like live in food deserts. Because, you know, you've got all the big chain grocery stores, that's fine, but we also have Food City, which I know is also a chain, but like it's a smaller chain, and it has it's catering more to the Mexican population, so it's got a lot of those good, not only really good priced foods, but good priced spices in bulk, that kind of stuff. Same thing with Lily's Market, that has all of the different Asian region aisles divided up. Yeah. I love going to the supermarket. I don't like any other kind of shopping. I don't like shopping for clothes. Ugh. Always a headache. I feel like, and I know everybody says this though, so it's not really a unique thing, but I feel like my body is just so oddly shaped compared to the cut of most clothes. So it's like, no matter what I try to buy, I have problems with it. So, but I know everybody complains about this. This is not a unique problem. We just all have unique bodies. And that's kind of cool. Except for when you're trying to buy clothes, then it's really, really annoying. When I was in high school, I took a home ec class, and they taught us how to sew a bit, which I thought was pretty cool, and I actually did used to sew my own clothes for a short bit. But it is a bit of a pain in the butt. In that class, I was sewing. I was pushing the fabric through the sewing machine, not paying attention, and the needle actually went right through my thumb, and I got stuck in the sewing machine, just frozen, like not knowing what to do, with my thumb being pinned down to the sewing machine. It was just the very tip of my thumb. It wasn't like through the nail or anything, but it was just, yeah. And the wound healed quickly, but it was traumatic at the time. Like, not so traumatic because I didn't cry or anything, which, I mean, I was in high school, but still I was really super proud of myself that I didn't cry in front of my classmates, because I felt like that would have been even more embarrassing than stitching one's own finger. The garment that I ended up making, I got some pushback from my teacher. She said, I don't know, I think that's too much plaid. But it was the 90s. Plaid was basically a solid at that point, you know. So I made this long, in my mind it was going to be a really cool like plaid trench coat, but what it ended up being looked more like pajamas. But that's okay. It was like a long button-down shirt kind of a thing, done in dark red and yellow and green plaid. I don't think plaid really has ever gone out of style, but it was just used excessively during the grunge rock era. Yeah. paisleys. That's a design you don't see too much. Paisley was what, big in the 70s, I think? Yeah. But yeah, you don't see a whole lot of paisley anymore. On a tie. Usually you'll see it like on a tie, on a men's tie. Just a little... I really like the concept of men's ties in that, like, I've been trying to go minimalist with my wardrobe, and the idea behind it, like, you could have all of the, you know, the variety of the different ties, but the same suit every day, and nobody would really even notice, right? I don't know. I've never been a businessman. Is this how this works? I like it because, you know, you could conceivably be both very minimalist, but also, like, have something unique on you each day, which is one of the things, because I don't particularly like wearing jewelry. I don't want to wear a tie either, but I like the idea of having something to give the outfit character for the day or whatever. But I don't like accessories, so I don't know. Stuck with all black clothes, no accessories, how boring. But the upside is I don't have to think about what I'm wearing every day. You know, I just roll out of bed, put something on from the closet, end of story. There's no matching. There's no matching to be done. I have like 5 of the same pair of pants, 5 of the same tank top, 4 button-down shirts, this long sleeve, which is so cozy. It's one of my absolute favorites. It's like a drizzly day out, you know, like a cool drizzly day out. So it was so nice to wear my beanie today and my soft stuff. Very cozy. Went out for a walk with my husband. It was beautiful out. Yeah, it was a nice day. I was very, very lazy though. I spent a good chunk of the day just laying in bed because some of my appointments got canceled, and I was just like, I should be productive. And then I went to bed and laid down, and that was nice. Ended up watching some of the Great British Bake Off. That is one of my favorite shows, mostly because of Noel Felding. He is one of my absolute favorite comedians. He's so freaking weird, and I love him to death. He's pretty big deal in England. You know, most Americans know him from the Great British Bake Off, and that's pretty much it, which is kind of like a weird starting point because he's this surreal artist. He does these very like loud paintings, and he's known for just being this punk rock, weird, goth, surreal, Monty and Python inspired British comedian. And he had a series, a show on two different shows. He did stand up, so kind of like a big celebrity. I found some of his clips of his stand-up comedy on YouTube, and that's when I was just like, oh my god, this guy's freaking brilliant. He's just so freaking weird. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, Noel Felding. If you like surrealist comedy, check him out. Super fun. But yeah, why was I thinking of him? Oh, Great British Bake Off, right? Yeah, I like that show. But I don't like any of the other recommended similar shows that Netflix has been serving me because I like Great British Bake Off. They're like, try Sugar Rush. And I'm like, no. It's not the same on so many levels. There's a certain just calmness about the show as far as reality shows go that I like, you know? I like my entertainment to either be like really intense or like really super benign. I don't usually typically aim for an in-between on that. So yeah, I like cooking shows, some cooking shows, nature documentaries, which can be pretty crazy sometimes. I mean, animals are nuts. I love animals so much. I love my cats so much. They give me so much joy. They're so cute. They're so weird. They keep life interesting. They remind you that there's other perspectives out there. You know, it's easy to get bogged down in your own perspective and think it's important. And, you know, the world is a big place and everybody thinks about things differently. And animals even more so. But it's cool that this creature that has a totally different life experience, a wholly different outlook on everything, can actually make a connection with you, you know? That they can just chill with you, they can ask you for things, you know, benefit from each other's presence. That's pretty awesome. Like an entirely different animal. It gives me hope that if we ever do meet aliens, that we might stand a chance, you know? At least those of us who love animals, I think. The ability to see something from a different perspective, from a unique perspective. I think that's the hard part for a lot of people. I think people who are afraid of animals or afraid of certain animals, like I'm afraid of certain animals to a degree. Like spiders, I don't know what they're thinking. You know, I can't put myself in the mind of a spider. Yeah. Some reptiles too. I feel like I'm okay with caterpillars. I think I can definitely understand the mind of a caterpillar. To like, just eat all the things, transform, turn into goo, turn into butterfly, make eggs, redo the whole cycle of turning into goo, eating all the things, turning into goo, turning into butterfly. Yeah, I feel like I've been through that cycle myself so much. Yeah, life is wild. Seems like every big challenge, you know, there's growth that's gonna happen. I'm so hopeful for this upcoming year. I think that as things do truly get back to normal, you know, if people can actually get the vaccine, and that's, I know it's going to take more than a year for things to be really back to normal, but I hope that this year has given people some extra love for the ability to go to see live music and get food and all this kind of stuff. I feel like that all these entertainment things that we used to do and just kind of take for granted, I think a lot of people really miss that right now. You know, like how thrilling is it going to be to go see a live show with a bunch of other people in some crowded, stupid little bar, you know, and just hear this local band go freaking nuts. Like, how awesome is that going to be, you know, after not having the option to do it for a while, you know, or hanging out with extended family, if that's what you've been missing, with friends, whatever it is. Honestly, I think I miss just being in a crowded place and just kind of blending into the background. A lot of people, I think, have this misconception that that introverts like to spend time alone all the time. And it's true that we get recharged by spending time alone, but we also like to spend time around other people. Not interacting necessarily, but around, you know? Maybe it's that sort of herd pack safety mentality, like if there's others of your kind at least around you, you are safe, right? It's when you have to do the interactions that it gets exhausting, at least for some of us. Which is, I don't know, maybe I'm not I am an introvert in very specific ways. Like I do need my alone time. If I don't have that, I turn into a horrible grouchy person. This is absolutely true. I can go for long periods of time without necessarily wanting to hang out with anyone and be totally content, totally fine. But then, yeah, I do also enjoy being around people. I like interacting with people when the rules are clear. I think that's why a lot of introverts are attracted to like games or like clubs, you know, those kinds of environments, because there are rules of etiquette that tend to blur when you get out in more casual social situations. So I love taking a class. I love just being, you know, like part of the background crowd, like one of the extras in the crowd, kind of. Because I feel like I know what I'm supposed to do in that space, right? In that moment. My dad used to tell me that, and I kind of took this from him and adopted it as my own, because I think it's kind of a cool way to look at it. He said, I love waiting rooms. He says a lot of people get really impatient in a waiting room. They hate being there, you know, whether you're waiting for, you know, some kind of service or a doctor or whatever it is, or waiting for your coffee. He says, because the reason why I love being in waiting rooms is because when you're there, you are fulfilling every responsibility you have in that moment just by being there, right? Just by existing, just by waiting. Like, that's the only thing you have to do in a waiting room. It's specifically for that. Like, all you have to do in that moment to be a responsible adult fulfilling their responsibilities to society, all you have to do in that moment is wait. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a vacation. And yeah, and I think a lot of times we just don't give ourselves opportunities like that, because what a wasted opportunity if I didn't have that perspective from my father. What a gift that is, to give somebody that perspective, to say, yeah, you know what, waiting is awesome. Because when you're waiting, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing in that moment. So cool. I love it. So low pressure. But I think we need to do that for other things, right? Like, to say when I'm sleeping, you know, we know how important sleep is. I know how important sleep is, and I still have trouble with it. I still feel like, oh, there's something else I should be doing. And it's like, no, a responsible adult should be getting 8 hours of sleep per day. If you are fulfilling on those 8 hours right now, guess what? You're doing everything exactly right in that moment. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing by lying down in bed and letting yourself recharge and shutting down and doing nothing. Like, that's all you need to do in that moment. That's it. Yeah, worth remembering. Worth remembering. Well, I don't know if this video will ever see the light of YouTube or not. I don't know if I'm gonna click publish on it, see what y'all think, see if anybody actually made it to this point in the video. Hey, if you made it to this point of the video, type in the comments, made it. That'll let me know if anybody is actually interested in this type of content. You and me, just sitting down, having a little chat, having a little cup of tea. Yeah, all right. Until next time, have a lovely evening. See you later. Bye. This is why we need to get up and down off the floor.